You're listening to the Talking Shrimpers podcast, sponsored by Surgical Holdings.
Dzień dobry, witam, TSP. Ja jestem Sensei Phil Tavoy Host. Coming up, Dallas Double. Let's first check in with our co-hosts. Of course, you're wondering why I'm wearing a Poland shirt and got a Poland shirt in the back. I'm actually in central Poland, but the guys are back home in the UK. Let's first check in with Charlie. Charlie, how you doing? We were a bit lonely last week, weren't we?
Yes, I was just saying, it's nice to have some company this week, isn't it? Got a little bit lonely last week, but yeah, really good weekend, mate. Thank you.
Good. That's Finn. No bin disasters this week, hopefully.
No bin disasters and no ball caps, hopefully. So yeah, I'm happier about that. But yeah, a great game the other day, which we're going to talk about. But yeah, all happy, all good.
We are indeed. Let's go to Chloe. Chloe, how are you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, good, thank you. Not up to too much, just working. Had a very busy day today, but yeah, we obviously missed the show last week because the girls didn't have a game, so good to be back on.
So I was going to ask you about your work. So you are obviously you work for Football Manager. What exactly does that entail?
Well, I'm the Women's Football Research Coordinator. So for those that don't know, we're introducing women's football into Football Manager for the first time. And I basically just do all the research for it. And we've got a big pool of head researchers, assistant researchers that are freelancers. And I basically support overseeing that and accurate data entry for women's football.
So do you load all their like scores up, like their ratings and stuff?
Yeah, so we had to do that from scratch. So I started the job about 3 years ago where we literally only had like a few people in the database, and we've now got, I think, over 30,000 or something players.
Wow.
Maybe. So
Blimey.
yeah, we've obviously that wasn't just me. Like I said, we've got a big pool of researchers that, really help towards that. So yeah, it's all just about rating the players and, giving them.
So you can't do, I understand you can't do your own one, can you?
I actually can. I am in the game. Well, I'm going to be. Before, you weren't allowed because obviously there was no women's game. So I was putting my brother in it. And actually, my brother's best friend, he was playing one day, and my brother came up in the game as like some like superstar signing from Man City. So, but yeah, I have put myself in the game now.
So can you give yourselves like really good scores? And obviously everyone that plays in your position, if you give them really low scores, then obviously everyone who plays Football Manager is going to pick you every time.
I have tried to give myself a good score.
This is being recorded, remember.
Soon came in.
Careful what you say.
Yeah. But yeah, I put myself put my scores in, but then my manager soon came in and went, no, that's too high. You got to put yourself lower.
Managers, eh? Emily, how are you doing? You are joined by Loki, I see.
Hello. Yeah, he wants to make his TSP debut today. Apparently, every time I talk, he comes in here. He loves it. But yeah, all good. Thank you. Back to work this week after some much needed time off. So come Wednesday, all go again. All the students back in. So.
Well, I've already had a couple of vodkas from the in-laws, so come the end of the show, Loki might have to take over as the host. Probably get more sense out of him, to be honest.
He would love that.
I don't know where Matt's gone. Is he gone back to the airport in Egypt? Who knows? We might have to get those caps out again, guys. Finn, go back to the bin. Get that cap out again.
I actually don't think it is in the bin this time. So the one time I don't need it, I think it's not actually in the bin. So I think I'm all right this time.
Hopefully Matt will join us again. Well, as I said, I'm in Poland at the moment. Came out Friday in Krakow. What you say, Krakow? Kraków. They pronounce it here. Brilliant. Lovely place. Amazing food. So good. The beer's cheap. It's just what's not to like. Great weather. And then we went to Auschwitz on Saturday. I'm not going to talk too much about that. But listen, there's a place you've got to go just to kind of, see for yourself, understand kind of what happened there, what people went through. Really, I'm not going to say a great day out. It's not really the right thing to say, but it's just something you've got to do, to appreciate what happened. And then we went to, where did we went yesterday? Went to Zakopane. Beautiful place, amazing mountains. Weather weren't too good. It was a bit overcast, rainy. So up at the top of the mountain, it was a bit misty. But yeah, amazing views. Great town. And then we went to, there was a thermal pools. Great, brilliant, great time. You could take your beer into the thermal pool, which was great. You could pay a bit extra to go on level 4. So we went up to level 4 to ask what kind of was included. And apparently you're all naked up there. We're like, okay, I won't be going in there. Yeah. So we'll give them this. Yeah, that was interesting. I was like, oh, lost for words. But yeah, brilliant. And then obviously today we travelled 4 hours on the train to Wrocław, where my in-laws are in central Poland. So just got here, absolutely boiling. I've got a couple of vids to show you. There was a very interesting flight on the way. If you can see this. So yeah, stag do, obviously. The crew was proper stitched up in a bride outfit. They got him collecting the bins, the staff on the crew on the plane, which was brilliant, really funny. And then let's have a look what we got in Krakow. Yeah, get prepared for the best dancer in Poland. So this was in the main square. They just play music. Wait for the attempted moonwalk. Yeah, very, very interesting. Might have broken up a bit, but you'll see it back on the live play. And then this is Wrocław, where I am now. So not far from here, there's a big area with a football school. So there's round the corner, you'll see a stadium. That's actually basketball arena for Wrocław Anvil, who are the best basketball team in Poland, always win the league. I've never actually been. It's only like a 10-minute walk from here. So I'll have to go 1 year. But whenever I come, they never seem to be playing at home. So it's just the way it works out, really. But yeah, so that's that. And we're here for a few days, and then we're on to Warsaw at the end of the week, see some more friends and family, and yeah, just keep drinking vodka and eating great food. Matt's back. Here he is. So Matt, can you hear us? Looks like we're having a bit of trouble with Matt again. We can have to get those caps out. Yeah, let's get the caps out. Can you hear us, Matt? All right, we'll come back to him. Yeah, that's really been my week. So we had a game Saturday, Solihull away, Dallas at the double. Another away win, 3 away wins now. So yeah, season's off to a flyer. Charlie, what was your take on the game?
Firstly, I was a little bit disappointed. I was hoping to go down to it, but I left it a bit late to get tickets, thinking I'd be able to grab one sort of last minute. But for some strange reason, Solihull didn't want us to seem to outnumber their home fans and gave us a very limited number, which was a bit frustrating, but it's to be expected at this sort of level now, I guess. With the following we've got, we're probably going to outnumber the majority of home teams, but it is what it is. So I ended up watching it on TV instead. And yeah, to be honest, it was great to see Dallas finally off the mark. I thought it wouldn't be too long before he was, and to have it against his former team, there's no better place to do it, was there?
Yeah, exactly. Solihull, shocking. We'll give you 5 when you come to our place. How about that? Is that fair? Absolute shocker. Finn, double for Dallas.
Yeah, well, just on what Charlie said, I completely agree with him. And I could make the game, so I went and managed to get a ticket. And yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, about half of the end that Southend were in was basically empty until some fans who I'm not entirely sure weren't paid actors at half time came in and made a bit of noise for Solihull. But yeah, I was, to be honest, nothing against Solihull because I don't really have anything against them as a club, but their support was pretty shocking, if I'm completely honest. Their home support. I don't remember it being great last time I went, but I don't remember it being that bad. But it is what it is. But yeah, as you said, Dallas, great for him to get 2 goals. I mean, I think he's looked really lively in his first few games. He just needed that goal, and he got 2. So yeah, very, very happy. I think he's going to be a great player for us.
I saw the goals. They were top level finishes for this level. Obviously, he's a great striker. I think we've been waiting for that type of striker really to replace Cardwell. But yeah, two absolutely brilliant finishes.
Yeah, they're really
first one, great link up. Say that again, Finn.
They were really like technical, tricky goals. Both of them, well, particularly the second one, it was all kind of under his feet, and he just managed to put it in. And then the first one, he was really composed. And I don't know if you look at it like a bit slower, the way he chips it over the defender's leg just to get past him, it was brilliant.
Yeah, clinical composure, exactly what we want up there. I mean, I think Kendall's been brilliant since he's come in. I think he's going to get goals, but you can just see with Dallas that kind of level above that he's got, that composure around that area, and great link up play with Gus. I mean, great inception firstly from Gus to win the ball, feed him through, and then get a 1-2. Like you say, skip past defender, jinked it over, top finish. That's what we've been waiting for. Matt, did you manage to see the goals?
Yeah, watched all the game on.
Oh, he's there.
Oh no, I mean, I saw all the game on DAZN. It was a great game. Really enjoyed it. Just a few, like Gus, obviously great with the assist, and didn't have his best game. It's quite strange to have a right wing back that only it's his moments that count as opposed to his whole game. I think usually you look for like a 7 or 8 out of 10 performance from your wing back, didn't you, in most games? But with Gus, he can go quiet for long periods and just produce those moments of magic that really make a difference for us. It's quite strange to have in a team. So obviously really pleased that it's coming off for him, but I was a little disappointed with his overall output against Solihull. But yeah, great win. Obviously great to be unbeaten still. How long is this going to go on for? I'm going to back it all the way to the end of the season. Going to have an invincible season, guys. How do you feel about that?
Of course you are.
Well, we said it before, Matt. It's like what we said before about how with boys, it might end up in Gus getting more goals or because it's going down the left side more, swinging it into Gus. That's how he scores goals. He's waiting at the back post. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to go down the left a bit more this season.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's as you say, it takes the pressure off, doesn't it? So again, I think, boys, he played well. There was no sort of standout performance that I sort of remember from him, but you can't, there was just a consistent performance, really. But like touching on what Matt and Finn say, I think with Gus now, in seasons gone by, we probably relied on him a lot to get those crosses in or to get on the other end. Whereas now, we've got that balance within the squad that, we can, it doesn't always have to go down, the side for Gus. We've got boys on the opposite side to share that load.
Yeah, so the second goal came down the left. I saw a great ball by Noor again. It was very similar to goal from last week when Joe, fed Boise down the left. It was Noor this week. Fed Spars off. He got in the action, got himself an assist. And yeah, you mentioned that second finish, absolutely brilliant turn into the back of the net. Chloe, is that how you used to put them away?
Yeah, I guess so. A few of them. I'm more of the assister these days, Phil, rather than the goal
You're
scorer.
more of a boy.
She's being modest. She used to score a couple of goals like that. She's being modest.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. Well, hopefully it won't be long before you're banging the goals in again. You too.
Soon come.
So yeah, unbeaten run now goes on. 3 wins away. We just got to turn these home games into wins, haven't we? Like we said, we were disappointed last week that we didn't get the 3 points. But yeah, well, completely got my predictions wrong. 5-0. Matt completely way off the mark. 8-7. But listen, 2-1. Yeah, exactly. We'll take that though. Emily, what did you say? You didn't say 2-1. Please don't tell me that.
I honestly was going to say 2-1, and I know you guys are going to sit there and say, yeah, whatever. But I promise you I was going to say 2-1, but ever since Finn said I can't see us conceding a lot of goals this season, you've put me off. So I actually fully blame Finn.
Finn, well done, mate.
All right.
We got a knocker off the top of the league.
Titan talk, isn't it, Finn? It's Titan talk.
Charlie, did anyone else impress you this week?
I thought we saw a really good game from Noor this week. He really impressed. It was like the Noor of old, really pulling the strings in the middle of that park. Really good performance. As you say, he was pivotal in the second goal. I mean, the 2 goals we've conceded this year, we've conceded a deflection and, their goals, a route one straight down, sort of a bounce. And, to be fair to him, it was a great finish, 30-yard out and lobbing Colin. But we haven't conceded through teams breaking us down or playing through us. As I say, it's been a deflection or a route one. But yeah, North for me, I thought was really good. And as you say, that pass into Slavy and a really good ball from Slavy actually to put it in an area where he knew Dallas had been and stuff. And that first touch from Dallas, and as been said, the turn, and he still had a bit to do, just chipping it over that defender to get it in. So obviously Dallas took all the plaudits for his 2 goals, and rightly so. But I think Noor had a really, really good game also.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was rested last week, and he obviously needed that. Like I mentioned last week, he looked exhausted. And after the interview last week with Dallas, he said that he felt he'd been playing well. He was just missing goals, and he didn't want to be seen as I think he kind of knows that, the flack that Bon got when he came in, hadn't scored for a long, long time. And obviously Bon had played at a high level, like Dallas. People were going to compare, and the longer it went on without a goal.
Yeah.
So I was pleased that he got his goals early. And to get 2, hopefully he'll go on a run. I was going to mention their goal, actually. Sorry, excuse me. And I mentioned Dan Creaney previously, didn't I? He's a dangerous striker. Looking at the goal back, do you think maybe Colin was a little bit out of position?
Yeah, I mean, when it first happened, I looked at it and I thought, you know what, it's just a route one, and the bounce has done us, and the keeper, I thought you can't really be to blame. Now you look back on it, different angles and replays and whatnot, and you think, well, maybe, has he come out a bit too much? I don't know. But, Creaney's capable, isn't he? And, he made us pay for it.
Well, like you said, it was route one, but look at the goal. Great first touch. But as soon as he takes that touch, his second one, he's going to be shooting. So I think Colin maybe should have stepped back a little bit at that point. And two defenders shut him down. They probably knew what he was going to do. He's a lethal striker, even though he's 32 now. He's a dangerous player. So he got to 1-1, and then obviously we got the winner, which was great. So the run keeps going. Happy with that. Very happy with that. So I think what we now third at the moment. Yeah, still up there. So good.
One more player that I just want to talk about quickly was, because I wasn't here last podcast, so I couldn't talk about him then. But Joe Gubbins, I said he was going to be my standout player.
Oh, here he comes. I said Joe Gubbins, whatever. I knew it won't be long.
Yeah, and I saw you two talk about it in the last podcast, so I just wanted to
fair play, Finn. Fair play. Yeah.
Say, he's doing quite well, isn't he?
He is now. Obviously, with Ralphie out, he's taking his chance, and yeah, I think he's playing really, really well.
Yeah, got a great pass.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I'm not trying to sound like a broken record. Like him and
Goody.
Goodlift at the back. They've formed a really, really good partnership, and I mean, he's really giving Ralph a bit of a headache trying to get into that squad, isn't he? Now he's really making that position his own, and they're really developing a really good partnership. And I mean, we seem to say it every time we're on at the moment, like how good defensively we are, and the partnership that's forming. So. Yeah, like Finn said, I think he's playing really, really well at the moment.
Well, I think the good thing is with our 3 centre-backs is that they're all quite different to one another. Like, so you've got Taylor, who's great sliding in and the tackling side of things. You've got Goodlift, really good in the air. He's really good at heading the ball away and clearing it like that. And then you've got Gubbins, who is really good at playing it forward. So you've got like 3 quite different centre-backs, really. And I think Gubbins and Taylor are pretty similar in build, quite tall and not quite as stocky as Goodlift. But yeah, I think it's good to have 3 centre-backs who are all quite different.
Yeah, it is good. Looking good at both ends, at the back and up front. So long may it continue, guys. Long may it continue. Right, we're going to go into a very short break, and then for the halftime show, we've got Keenan on Teammates. You've got to hear this one. It's hilarious. Comedy Corner with Matt, which will be equally hilarious, I'm sure. And we've got a new feature, Football Memories, got a story for that. We've also got Charlie Edinburgh interview coming up, but we're going to do that right at the end of the show. So, yeah, don't go away.
This is the halftime show in memory of John Gurrell.
The Southend United ladies with Emily and Chloe.
Okay, the ladies are back. We'll start with you, Chloe. What's going on? Cup match. We were going to win that. What happened?
Don't know really. I think we lacked a bit of oomph yesterday. I think we definitely got better in the second half. We won the second half 1-0, if you want to look at it that way. I feel like we grew into it, and I actually do think we could have ended up getting an equaliser. Did the standard send Molly up right at the last second for a corner and hope for sort of an Alison Becker-esque header, but it wasn't meant to be. So yeah, unfortunately out of the League Cup, but I believe it does mean now we go into the League Plate, and we won the League Plate 2 seasons ago, and we got to the semi-finals in it last season. So we've got a good track record.
We'll go one step further this time. Emily, do you think maybe a little bit of match rustiness? Obviously, no game last week. A few of the girls have been away.
Yeah,
the team's still gelling.
Like it's only the third game, and I think it's a long old season. We've got a lot of new players that have come in, quite young players as well that maybe haven't got as much experience at this level as what we're going to give them. So I think give it a couple of weeks. I do think we're going to hit the ground running. Second half yesterday, I think we were so much better. I just think we left ourselves a lot of work to do. I think the game was kind of done in the first half. Really, you're kind of chasing the game at 2-0. We don't really want to be doing that. Even if we did have a really good second half, which we did, I think we were unlucky. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can now find a little bit of form. We're settling in a little bit with the new faces that are coming in. So yeah, hopefully it's just a bit of a blip and we can find our feet.
Let's talk about Abby Denton. Chloe got her first goal. Obviously, one of the new players. What can she bring?
Abby Dell, by the way. We've got Amber Denton and Abby Dell.
Yes, don't get confused.
No, don't get confused.
Too many Ambers.
Abby, she's new with us this season. She's very experienced striker. I know she struggled a bit with injuries before. So, to have her get off the mark yesterday, I think, is really important. And you know what, like I said in my last answer, like we lack that oomph, but I think Abby brings that. I think we were talking about it before, she was sort of giving it a bit to the opposition, got, had the referee sort of have a word with her. Our captain had to have a word with her. But do you know what? I think sometimes team really needs someone like that. Really happy to see her get her goal, which she took really well. And really excited to see how she performs for the rest of the season.
Excellent. No red cards, hopefully.
Hopefully not.
Coming from someone who knows about red cards. Yeah, so no game this Wednesday. And I understand there's been a fixture change for next week. Emily, we are playing, remind me, we're playing FA Cup, aren't we?
Yeah, so we've had a bit of a shuffle of our fixtures, but it means that Sunday's our first FA Cup game. A couple of seasons ago was the first time we got into the first round proper. So hopefully we can keep kicking on from that success because we obviously got a lot of traction from it, which was good. So hopefully, as I said, with the new squad we're trying to build and move forward, we can make a bit of a dent and have a good FA Cup run.
So I'm assuming if it's a draw at full time, it goes to extra time and pens or just straight to pens? What's the deal?
I think so. I think with the early rounds, because obviously there's a lot of preliminary rounds, and that changes a lot for obviously the men. But I think it's extra time and pens. I'm pretty sure. Different cups obviously vary with their rules, and some go straight to pens. But I think it is extra time and pens. Yeah.
Have we had many penalty shootouts, ladies' team? What's our record?
I personally have never been involved in one, but I don't know if, whilst I've been injured with, maybe in the history of the club, maybe 1, 2 tops.
Yeah, I don't think I've been involved.
We don't tend to leave it that late. We tend to do it all in the 120. We don't tend to go to pens. We don't want to do it.
You've jinxed it.
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
So next week we won't be broadcasting because all the ladies will be after me. Guys, have you been involved in playing any penalty shootouts? I've been in 2. Thankfully, won them both. but it's nerve-wracking taking a pen, I tell you, and penalty shootout.
I was only ever involved in one, which was the El Clasico between the year 11s and sixth form at school.
Brilliant.
Massive stakes. I think I hit the post.
You hit the post.
Yeah, I think I've been involved in. I don't think I've been involved in a penalty shootout. I was a penalty taker one season, and I think I missed the first penalty, and that was it. I was taken off it shortly after, and that was it. So I've been, I've stayed clear of them.
Finn?
I think I have actually. When I
under 11s,
an incredibly low level, and I think I scored. So we'll take that. It was to win some sort of like plate or something, but not a good level at all.
I did mention on the pilot, my first penalty miss, hit the inside of the post, hit the other post, come out and pulled my hamstring. But generally, I had a good penalty record. I scored about 20 penalties, but missed 2. That was the first. But the other one, oh my God, it was just. I'll have to tell you about it. So it's for a new team. My very first debut. We were playing pre-season game. We had a free kick on the halfway line. And I said to the referee. So I noticed the first 5 minutes, their keeper kept coming off, coming out of his goal. So I thought, if I get a chance for free kick, I'm just going to smash it. And we got a free kick on the halfway line. I said to the ref, "Is it direct?" And he looked at me like I was some sort of idiot. And he just went, "Yeah." So I hit it, looped straight in over. Brilliant debut goal, halfway line. Second game, we got pre-season in week. We got a penalty. So straight away and put my hand up. I'm taking this. Banged it in the net. And then after the game, we were getting changed, and there weren't enough. It was only a small changing room, so there weren't enough room in there for everyone to get changed. So I was changing outside, and I heard the lads talking about me, going, "Oh, the new boy's pretty good, isn't he?" But then someone goes, "Yeah, but he ain't scored from open play yet." I'm like, "Are you having a laugh? I've scored from the halfway line, and you're questioning my finishing. You're kidding me?" But you know what? Jinxed me. I didn't score for about 8 games when it mattered in the league, and then got a penalty after about the 8th game. So I thought, "Yep. I'm having this. I've got to get off the mark for the season." And there was a bit of a divot in the penalty, and it was kind of on my mind. And I used to hit them low into the corner, either to the left or with the outside of my boot to the right. So I had in my mind, I knew the keeper was going to move to the left, so I thought I'm going to hit the outside of my foot to the right hand side. And as I did it, my foot slipped and it hit this divot. And I kid you not, the ball must have gone in. Hit the corner flag. It was that far wide. It nearly hit the corner flag. It was so bad. It was so bad. But thankfully, I did score about 10 minutes after that, and then I went on a really, really good run. A few hat tricks in a few games. But yeah, awful penalty. So hopefully, girls, no penalties. I won't jinx you. We're going to win this.
Sounds like you could get a game for Southend, Phil, mate, back in the day.
I
know. Yeah, we've missed a few, to be fair, haven't we, at Roots Hall? But yeah, hopefully we're gonna get off the mark, girls. We're gonna get a win this week. Straight result. Yeah. Matt, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. What are you going for?
For the ladies team?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 4-0.
There we go. You've heard it.
6 when Emily and Chloe are playing.
Yeah.
But for now, for 4.
To be fair,
there you go.
that could be accurate. Well, I think they're in the league below, so. We've got a really good opportunity here to sort of make a statement. So you know what, 4-0 might not be far off that.
Yeah, to be honest, it might actually be. It might be the perfect game that we've kind of been waiting for to hit the ground running, like to get a bit of confidence going, get the goals flowing. And I think, as I said, when Chloe said, once we get our first win, I do think we're just going to fly. Like we've had 2 great seasons in this league. It's probably a bit of an anomaly start, but yeah, hopefully this weekend we can start changing it.
Fingers crossed. Right, let's hear teammates from Keenan. This is a classic.
Best and worst dresser. To be fair, we don't really go on nights out with each other like that for us to see. So I couldn't really give you a name. Yeah, I can't really give you a name for that one. Best and worst trainer. Oof. Can't really answer that. I think we're all good players, to be fair. So, yeah, I can't answer that one. Worst playlist. It's only Gus on the DJ and on the aux or on the speaker, so his music choice is actually quite good. So yeah, there's not a worse for that one. Team Joker, Adam Carver makes me laugh a lot. I have to say Adam Carver or Colin. I have to say Team Joker, who is always late. It's that might be me, but I'm not late. I just come before the late time. I'm on time, but it's a very late on time. Most intelligent. Who's intelligent? I wouldn't back anyone to be intelligent. Intelligent. I don't have an answer for that one. Who needs help? I'm not sure for that one. Who pays the most attention to themselves in the mirror? I don't know. I'm not really looking at anyone looking in the mirror, to be fair. Most creative excuse you've heard for missing training? Probably me, but it wasn't an excuse. The Dartford tunnel was shut, so I just couldn't get to training. Best training ground skills, Daz or Benner? That is Daz, for sure. He likes to do some passing, he can dribble, he's got good technique, right foot, left foot, so yeah, I'll give that one to Daz.
Yeah, that was Keenan. Brilliant. He didn't want to stitch anyone up.
You know what, Phil? I think he would make a great politician, won't he? He can't give a straight answer at all. And he sat on that fence anymore. I think he's going to have some splinters in his arse.
Yeah, exactly. So true. Let's just hear that again on the lateness, because that got me.
Who is always late? It's that might be me, but I'm not late. I just come before the late time. I'm on time, but it's a very late on time.
A late on time? What is that? That's what Matt is, isn't he?
I was going to say that could be Matt's new jingle.
Yeah. Late on time.
Yeah.
A very late on time. I like that. Yeah, you're going to use that, aren't you?
Yeah.
We're all going to use that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always say to my staff, early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. But now if they turn around and say, it was on time late, I mean, what do you say? Oh, Keenan, brilliant. There you go. Right, talking of brilliant, we got this.
Now, it's the Comedy Corner with Matt Adlington.
Thank you. So it's a short corner routine this week because unbelievably the season's going so well for Southend, and comedy is nothing without tragedy and timing. And given that we're unbeaten at the moment, it's just going to be a short corner routine. It is really strange, isn't it, that we're unbeaten after 6 games into the season. Usually, the queue to get a pie at half-time is longer than our unbeaten stretch at the start of the season. I don't quite know how to handle it. There are still some fans that can't get used to us winning and starting the season so well. They're still finding a reason to have a moan. It's a bit like those Oasis fans have amazingly got tickets to go and see the reunion tour and then started to have a moan that there's not been any new music released in the last 20 years from them. Unbelievable stuff. But talking about the games that we have had recently, obviously we played at the weekend at Solihull Moors, and we played our first game in the black and gold kit. What an incredible kit that is as well. Absolutely loving that. Wearing the new third kit finally answers the question for me. What happened to all that Stan Collymore money? At least I can see where that's been put now in that kit design. It's made me feel so much better. As having us in that black kit as well, I think has put a few refereeing decisions our way as well. Long may that continue. Dallas got off to a scoring start finally at the weekend as well. He got as many goals as there are healthy palm trees down Southend seafront. That's right, he got 2, ladies and gentlemen. 2 goals for Dallas. A quick fire double for him, making sure that Solihull was shot down before they'd even saddled up. He really looks to me like he's settling in to the team very quickly, quicker than a seagull nicking your chips down the seafront. That's what I'm going to go with. In other news, what has been happening? Well, the club are asking fans to vote for the Player of the Month for the month just gone by. For me, it would have to be the fan that headed the ball back into play in the game against York City. I don't know if you saw it. Straight from kick-off, the ball went back to York's defence. They tried a long clearance. It went straight out of play, and someone living my dream and just in the West End heading the ball back into whoever was taking the throw in. I was unbelievably jealous, and whoever that fan was, you are my hero for life, and you are my player of the month. Given that we've got Wealdstone coming up, I thought I'd play a very quick game with the rest of the co-hosts, a bit of a who's closer, just to end off this little corner. We're going to play You Want Some, You Got No Fans, in memory of our Wealdstone Raider. So here we go. Can anyone have a guess at what the attendance was for Wealdstone against Southend United the last time we met in September last year?
We're talking away from home.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah, away from home.
I'll give it a go. 1,000. Oh, see, it's Southend in town, wasn't it? So I feel like it'd be a bit higher. I don't know, 1,000. I was going to go with 1,600. I'll go with 1,800.
1,800 from Finn. Any advancement from anyone else?
I was going to go miles with it. I was going to go 4K.
Oh, no, I'm going about 1,500.
15 from Charlie.
I'll go 1,400, but
2,000.
probably 1,300 loads of Southend fans.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it could be.
Phil's gone 14. Who said 2,000? Was that you,
Me,
Chloe?
it was.
That's a lot of fans, Chloe. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
just went down the middle.
Emily, come on, let's get a guess from you, mate.
I said 4,000, so count me out of this one.
4,000, okay. Maybe if we put both of them together, both of the times we played them away together. Now, Finn was really close, actually. It was 1,847 fans the last time we played Wealdstone away.
Don't make his head bigger again.
Here he is.
Well, to be fair, me and my dad, every game, me and my dad play a little game. He'll like me shouting this out because he's watching it. But me and my dad play a little game of guessing the exact number of away fans that come to Saw each game. And I think the closest one of us got is one off, that was mad. But that's over quite a few seasons. But yeah, so there you go. I do have a bit of experience.
Well done, fan. You're the new Wealdstone Raider for us.
Yeah, I'll take that title. What a title.
You want some?
That's it from Comedy Corner this week. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Well done, Matt. Yeah, so we got a new feature. I'll tell you all about that in a moment.
Football memories in it.
Yeah, football memories. So this is an opportunity to live back the years with some football memories. I'm going to start with one. And then I'm going to encourage you, the listeners, to get in touch. Any great stories you've got from down the years. And there'll be a chance to win 2 match tickets for the best one over the next couple of months. And you guys, I'm sure you got some as well. So I'm going to start with, I run a club about 20, 30 years ago now. And we were a really good side, actually, in the Mid-Essex League. And we had, I think it was our second season, really, really good keeper, guy called Brewster. Took out everyone that come near him, particularly coming for crosses. He'd come up with his knee in the air and literally wallop straight in the guts. Got away with it so often. But then, sadly, we lost him, fractured his wrist, sliding for a ball. And surgery, and he was out. So it's so hard to find a goalkeeper, and certainly when the season started. So we're out without a keeper for a few weeks, and then we had 4 or 5 lads that played. They come from Grays because we obviously were based in Basildon, and they're really good players. One of them said to me, "Oh, I've got a mate playing goal, and we'll bring him along Saturday and see what you think of him." So I said, "That's fine. We'll play him as a ringer, and then we'll get him signed up after the game if he's any good." So he's kind of on trial. So he came along, brilliant, really, really good keeper. I managed to get a couple of goals because he whacked the ball over the top, which is what I loved. Brought the centre halves up, and then, I was away. No one was getting me. So, yeah, this is great for me. Decent keeper. So got him signed up, and then I said, well, where's he come from? Obviously, how is a guy this good not playing with anyone? Well, it turns out, you'll appreciate this, Charlie, he was playing for someone, and it was a prison team. He literally been out of prison for just a couple of weeks. I'm like, oh my God, great. So, this is interesting. This is going to be interesting. So, he was doing great, safe at the back. I was staying well away from him, just keep putting the balls up the top. And then I think it was about our fourth game with him. We were playing away from home. I remember we were playing in Stock around Billericay, and approaching half an hour before the game. Still half the team hadn't arrived. So I'm like, seriously, what's going on? And the keeper, the new keeper, he was driving them there, I understood. So I give one of the lads a call, said, where on earth are you? We're only playing in half an hour, kick-off. So, what's going on? They said, we had a bit of car trouble. Couldn't get started, but don't worry, we're on the way now. So literally, they pulled up 15 minutes before the game started. Quickly got changed, didn't do a warm-up. We played the game. Can't even remember who won. I think we lost, actually. And then after the game, couldn't get the car started. So, he said, don't worry about it. Just leave it. We'll find out who I am. And I went, you're not going to call the breakdown? What's going on? Turns out he'd only nicked the car in the morning. So he's nicked this car, brought half my team in a stolen car to our game. Yeah, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, if you got any stories like that, do get in touch. Be great to hear them. So, dodgy goalkeeper for the first one. Decent keeper. He didn't last long, actually. I think he went back into prison not long after. So we only had him for a couple of months. But, big shout out to the keeper. Don't come after me. So, there you go. So what we got coming up next? We've got Charlie Edinburgh interview, obviously at the end of the podcast. So do listen out for that. We've got Wealdstone away tomorrow, as Matt mentioned. Finn, you don't live too far from there, do you?
No, so I live in Kent, so it's not much in it between going to a home game and an away game, really. I think, you don't have to go over the tunnel, so it'll probably be better for me, to be honest, to go to. I think it's. So I've got both predictions in mind for Halifax and Wealdstone, which we'll get onto soon. But I think a lot of things point towards the Southend win. They won their first 3 games, Wealdstone, which saw them right up at the top of the table. But since then, in their last 3 games, they've lost all 3 of their last 3 games.
Yeah, they've crashed, haven't they? Yeah,
they have. And I think if you look at the opponents they were playing against in the first 3, I've got them written here, actually. So their first 3 were Truro, Woking and Halifax. And obviously, Halifax, not a bad team at all. They're always in and around the playoffs for quite a few years. But really, across the board, that's quite poor or low-level opposition, I'd say. And then if you look at the 3 after that they played, it's Carlisle, Boston and Rochdale, so it's quite a big jump up from their first 3. And none of their first 3 were that convincing, I don't think. I believe they're all 1 or 2 goal wins. So, I think it's going to be an interesting game. It'll be I think both of these games actually are good ways for us to extend our run. I think really we couldn't have had a nicer couple of games. Obviously, there's a few teams that I would have preferred to Wealdstone, but I think Halifax is a team, again, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but I think that's another team that we tend to do quite well against. But I think it's going to be an interesting game. I do think we're going to do well.
There's one player I think they signed from Eastleigh. I can't remember. Tishkuna, is it? Quite a decent player. He's one that I think we'd have to watch for.
Definitely.
Charlie.
I think he's got experience with some other clubs as well.
Yeah.
I seem to remember, And they've also got Dion Woodman as well, which some Southend fans might remember.
Yes.
He didn't play too many games for us, like a handful, I think, but he was a player actually really rated in his few games for us. And he went to St Albans and never really got kicking. However, this season he's played all 6 games for Wealdstone, so it looks like he's probably going to be quite a big player for them this year.
I do remember he played right back, I think, for us. Charlie, you might remember this. You might have heard a fan that shouted this.
Come on, just shoot.
And it was about 30, 40 yards out, and Kev went absolutely mental because Woodman did shoot, and it ended up in the car park. So Kev weren't happy that day with him. And I think he turned around and really give it something to the fan, didn't he? Do you remember that?
Yeah. I mean, you get that quite often, don't you? Where we're sat, everyone's a manager in the stands, aren't they? Obviously, where we are, we're blessed with hearing Curry and Kev's comments back, and they're not always in agreement, let's say.
No. We'd have to use the beep to say what they said. But
yeah.
Matt, you fancying a 12-0 win at Wealdstone?
Not quite 12-0. I'm not going to have to give up on those massive predictions if I want to stand any chance of catching Emily. But I still see it being a big. I think we're going to just absolutely tonk someone very, very soon. We're creating lots of chances. It's only going to be a matter of time before some of the goal line clearances and keeper saves that we've had against us already this season have been incredible from the opposition's point of view. So, yeah, I see a big scoring game. I can easily see a 4-0 victory easily.
Well, let's go on the prediction. So Matt's gone 4-0. Chloe, what are you going with?
Do you know what? I'm toying between 2-1 and 2-0. I would love it if we didn't concede. So, yeah, I'll stick with it. 2-0.
Emily?
It's becoming quite the question, isn't it? I'm going to go 3-2 Southend.
Ooh.
I think, I don't know. I'm just going to go a bit of an outlandish shout. I've been playing it a bit safe. I'm going to go 3-2 Southend. Dallas to score.
That's very unlike you.
Welcome to my world, Emily. Welcome to my world.
Yeah. Charlie, let's get your prediction.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking the opposite to Matt. I don't think it's going to be a bigger goal fest as we think. I think the last few games that we've played at their place, it's only been by the odd goal. It's not really been massive scorelines. So I'm actually only just going to go a 1-0 win for us. I don't think it's going to be the route that we're probably hoping for. I think we'll probably still end up winners. But yeah, I just think it's going to be an edgy 1-0.
Finn, what are you going with?
I might shock some people with this because I've just said about how I think we're going to do well. But I've also got, and one thing with me, whenever I do predictions, I'm never, ever going to predict Southend to lose, no matter what. So, because I hate going into a game thinking I've predicted us to lose. I don't like that. However, I'm not going to predict a win, which might shock everyone here. However, if we do Halifax predictions in a bit, I will redeem myself. So I'm not being negative. But I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw is what I'm going to go for. I think it's going to be competitive. It's not going to be a bad draw, but I think it's going to be a bit of a disappointing result. But then if we go into the Halifax one, I might redeem myself with positivity.
But being a Kent lad, I think he's favouring Kent a bit too much for this game, don't you? I'm going to go for a 2-0. Get back to reality. 5-0 didn't work this weekend, so I'm going to go with my measly 2-0. So let's get on to Halifax. Emily, we're at home, obviously, Halifax on Saturday. Are we going to get that first home win at last?
I'm hoping so. I think now Dallas has at least cemented his place in the starting 11 for a good couple of games. If he can continue with that form, linking up with Gus, I think there's no reason why not. It's always nice. I think strikers always work on the basis of confidence from scoring previous games, don't they? So I'm hoping he continues to start. If he gets dropped, I think it'd be quite unfortunate. But yeah, I'm backing us to get the win.
Charlie, what are your thoughts on the opposition? They've had a bit of an indifferent start, haven't they? They won on Saturday, 3-2 at home to Yeovil, but they're letting goals in.
Yeah, I mean, they're quite a big team for this division, aren't they? But like you say, they're quite a bit inconsistent, and I think they're sort of going through some changes there as well. So again, we're probably playing these teams at a good time, playing them early, But I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know a huge amount about them, but I seem to remember we beat them at their place end of last season quite comfortably. So I don't, like Emily said, I think now Dallas has got, his 2 goals off his back now. He's going to be full of confidence. And I think it'll be him. He'll certainly keep his place, I think. Obviously, Charlie come off with a bit of a knock. I'm not too sure how serious that is. Walker, I think Kev was saying in his interview earlier on today, I think it was, that they're waiting on a scan for him. So I guess the other 2 options then is, does he start Slavy? Does he start Hopper? That's probably going to be the question for tomorrow's game for sure. And I think, Slavy's come in off the back of an assist with Dallas linking up well. So, he's put himself right in the mix, to put himself forward for a start.
Yeah, Matt, what do you think he might do? Because obviously Sparsov came on, got an assist, alongside Dallas on Saturday. Hop, maybe you would keep him back for Saturday against Halifax, because as Charlie said, not 100% sure on Charlie and also Josh Walker.
Yeah, I don't see Kev starting Slavy for a little while yet, unless he absolutely has to. I think he very much probably sees him as an impact player to give him some experience at this level and whatever else. So probably it will be Hopper up front for both if Charlie's not there, I would imagine. With Slavy definitely playing his part, but not until the later stages of both games. That's what
Well, he said he's going to get 20, 25 goals, didn't he, in the pilot? So he's got a bit of catching up to do. But yeah, I think possibly you might be right. Go with Hop with a bit of experience there. 2 games in 4 days again. It's going to be interesting how he sets up, and hopefully, it won't be too long before we get Kendall and Walker back, because we've waited a long time to get a few strikers, and suddenly they're dropping like flies at the moment. But yeah, Dallas is firing.
Yeah, Dallas is firing. He's back. I can't wait for him to get his first home goal. So I'm hoping that will come on Saturday against Halifax. I'm sure that will be a big reaction. And, I think for players at this level to be able to get that reaction when they score a goal, it must feel good. So it can only spur him on to do more, and hopefully start a long tradition of him getting goals at Rootsall and staying on for when we're in the Football League as well. That'd be nice.
Yeah, good shout. Right, let's get the predictions. Let's start with Finn. You said that you were going to predict they're going to win. So what are you going with?
Yeah, so I went with 2-2 against Wealdstone, and partly that was because I was thinking about Kendall. Will he play? Will he not? And I think if he doesn't, I'm not sure how well Dallas and Hopper will work up top together. I feel like they're maybe a little bit too similar in the fact that their strengths come in really like trying to hold up the ball and trying to flick it on, things like that. And I'm not sure how well they're going to work up top together. Hopefully I'm wrong. But yeah, if Kendall starts, then that could be down the drain. But yeah, I'll go with 2-2 Wealdstone, and the Halifax game I'm going to go with a 3-1 win. So I see that happening. That's what I think.
Let's go to you, Matt.
I was going to be boring and say the same as Finn for the Halifax game. Actually, yeah, I think an exact repeat of the game against them back in February, a 3-1 win. I think Hopper will get a goal. And I think Scott Morris will get another goal as well. And hopefully Dallas will get the third.
Okay, let's find out from Chloe.
As much as I'd love to say we won't concede, I can't keep going every week saying we're not going to. So I'm going to go 2-1 win.
Emily?
I think I'm just going to go for a 1-0. I think it's going to, all this fixture congestion's going to start creeping up on us, I think. I'm just going to go 1-0. I still think we'll grind out the win, but I think it'll be not as maybe as exciting as previous, so just 1-0 for me.
Charlie, are you going to match Emily's score, or are you going to go with some outrageous scoreline?
I'm not going to go something outrageous, but I'm going to go one better than tomorrow night. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. I'm going to keep the clean sheet going. I think defensively we are very, very strong, and it's going to take a very good team to break us down and play through us. As mentioned before, it's just been route one and a deflection that's beaten Colin this season. So I think that clean sheet will continue at home, and yeah, a 2-0 win.
Well, I'm going to go 2-1 because I think it's not always so straightforward at Rootsall. We always seem to, do something silly. But, I fancy us to see the game through. So I'm going to go 2-1. I think Dallas will be on the score sheet again. And Ollie Coker, let's have a goal from Ollie Coker. It's about time. So that is the end. We've got the Charlie Edinburgh interview coming up. It's about 15, 20 minutes. So, guys, if you guys want to jump off, you're more than welcome to do that. Or if you want to stay on and listen to that, it will be able to be played back, obviously, later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts and everywhere else. So, yeah, enjoy this. It's a really good listen, actually. But, yeah, thank you, guys. Let's see what the scores come out this week. And let's see who's top of the league. We've got to get Emily off that top of the league on Saturday. So, guys, keep working at it. Chloe? have a word. Good luck at the weekend, obviously, with the cup match. No penalty shootouts, straight win. So, yeah, this is Charlie Edinburgh coming up. With me is Charlie Edinburgh, CEO of the Justin Edinburgh Foundation. Really appreciate you coming on, Charlie, to the podcast. I know you're a really busy guy. So thank you for coming on. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, Phil. Pleasure to be on. Thank you for having me on as well to obviously talk about some important stuff, which I'm sure we'll cover off. But no, all in all, in good spirit. Been enjoying the sunshine, to be honest.
Yeah, fantastic. Long may it continue. Just going to briefly look at your dad's career. Now, obviously, your dad had an amazing career as a player with Spurs, but it started in 1988 with Southend. So he made 37 appearances for Southend before Spurs snapped him up in 1990. I believe it was around 100 grand, which, you know, even in those days was a real bargain. Be worth a lot more than that these days. And then he went on to make 213 appearances for Spurs. 2 of which were in cup finals, gaining 2 winners' medals, which is a real, you know, I know as a Spurs fuller, it's a real rare thing as a Spurs player over the last 40 years. So, you know, he's in that category on his own, really. I do remember the 91 final, which featured the likes of Gaza, Lineker, Stewart, Naeem, Mabba, amazing team under Venables. And he, as I say, he was there for 10 years. Were you old enough to remember any of his time there?
So I wasn't actually born by the time he lifted the FA Cup in 91. I actually came along the December of the following year. So I was born in 92. But from the day I was born, Phil, you know, I was taken to White Hart Lane to go and watch Dad. So I do sort of remember going over there as a youngster. Certainly remember the cup final, the League Cup final in 1999, where he got sent off.
Yeah, I was going to mention that one.
for attempting to grade that, whatever it was, Robbie Savage, that had been at the game. So I remember being there that day. Obviously, the victory went Tottenham's way on the day, and he still collected his medal.
Absolutely.
Listen, very fond memories of watching Dad as a kid growing up. But I mean, that team that you speak about there of 1991 was a particularly gifted group, and obviously when you have someone of the calibre of Paul Gascoigne in the team, it's
amazing.
Only sort of leading you to good things. But obviously was a tragic end in that day, but then the morale got them the win eventually.
Yeah, I do remember it well. I remember your dad running around the pitch with the cup on his head at the end as well, with all the scarves. Amazing. And actually, I was at the 99 Cup final when he got sent off. No surprise, it was Robbie Savage who was involved in it, as it always was. Funny enough, he's the Forest Green boss now this season, so might be having a few words with him about that when we see him. But yeah, I do remember it well. I think your dad was completely clattered by Savage. Your dad just kind of waved him on. I think he just unsettled his long, blonde locks. I think that's what he was upset at. And then, of course, he rolled around like he'd been shot after. Typical Robbie Savage, really. Have you ever spoken to him about that?
Funny enough, we bumped into Robbie Savage and his wife. We was on a family summer holiday.
Right.
A couple of other players at the time that were at the club, had been at the club, Colin Heath and David Curzon.
Yep.
Had a lot of summer holidays as families, and we was in Portugal one evening, all going out for a big group meal. And through the window of this restaurant, I spotted Robbie Savage. I was like, Dad, there's Robbie Savage. And nothing was really sort of said.
Yeah.
I think he was more embarrassed of what he'd done. But he's come out and publicly said, there's been 1 or 2 articles he's done, and he obviously apologises for the way that he went about things. But I think he was just one of those players, Robbie Savage. He's one that you wanted on your team because
totally.
He ruffled feathers and
totally.
Listen, that was probably what his assignment was on the day. I don't think that was the first one to get flattened by him in that final.
No.
He managed to always find a way of getting around it and getting the other person bothered. So look, he's come out, he's apologised. I think that in the scale and the magnitude of the game, that doesn't sort of change, anything to Dad. He said, that was the lowest moment in his footballing career, walking down that tunnel, being sent off at Wembley and feeling like the weight of the world was on his
Yeah, of course.
At that point, the game could have gone either way, and he would have felt, solely responsible had Leicester gone on to win the trophy that day.
Yeah, so he had the last laugh, didn't he? Because he got the winner's medal in the end. So, yeah, brilliant, great time. So, looking at his coaching career, obviously after that he went into coaching, management. He had, worked through the non-league ladder with stints at, Newport before he went to Newport, Gillingham, Northampton, finally Leyton Orient. Newport, he reached the FA Trophy final, lost that one, but then returned to Wembley to win the conference playoff final against Wrexham. And then, of course, he was appointed manager of Leyton Orient, guiding them to the National League winner success back in, 2019. What do you recall of that time?
So I think, Newport County was a real sort of big step for him. It was the first time, really, that I recall. We were very fortunate as a family that sort of all of the clubs that he played for managed. The only time that we'd actually had to move away as a family when he played for Portsmouth, that was only for 18 months. So we've always been based as a family in Essex. Newport, he was taking a bit of a gamble, really, because he'd been out of work for a little while, and the opportunity came up, and he was commuting to Newport, which was a hell of a long way.
Yeah.
And at the time they were, struggling relegation zone, and he backed himself to go in and do what he did best, steady the ship, real good man manager, get the players on board, and as you said earlier on there, managed to get them to a FA Trophy final at Wembley that season and keep them up. So it was a fantastic start, and I think he managed to galvanise the club and
yeah,
were on side from day one. But yeah, what he managed to achieve there, really, you're talking that the following season, he gets them up via the play.
Yeah, incredible.
In an all-Welsh final, and that I've obviously no longer with us, God rest his soul, but I spoke with him on a number of occasions. The promotion with Newport County was one of, if not the proudest moment in his whole footballing career.
Yeah.
Take FA Cups and things like that aside, to lead a team where he did change the scope and the trajectory of that football club, and they've been an established league club now.
Yeah.
That day, and rightly so. Newport had its own journey, a football league club, and it had been exiled for 25 years, and it had built its way back up. And I just know how proud he was to be the man to deliver that and get them back. And, it was an unbelievable thing being at Wembley that day for the playoff final, and the scenes and the open top bus parade that followed. It was, fantastic. It's got so many fantastic things at that football club, and I still speak to many of them that are still there now, and players that played under Dad during that era, and all that everybody speaks about is just some of the best times of their life. And to know that my dad was able to give people that and the football club that is a truly proud thing.
Yeah, amazing career as a player and a coach. We're going to come on to the 3rd of June, 2019, a day that obviously changed everything for you and your family, Charlie. A day I remember well when your dad sadly came into the unit, after suffering cardiac arrest. And obviously, we know that he passed a few days later. I won't speak about it too much because I know it was a difficult time and you've well publicised that. But can you explain what you've done on the back of that in terms of the foundation? And for those who don't know, what exactly the work the foundation are doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously, just come off the back of getting promoted with Leyton Orient, I know how much you relishing the opportunity to manage them back in the Football League. But just in general, I remember sat next to the hospital and thinking, when we got the news what was going to happen, I was just like, you're too good of a man to be forgotten about. But also, we just wanted to make sure and try to make sure that no other family had to experience what we were going through at that point in time. And we decided, me, my mum, my sister, that the charity would be a way of continuing his legacy and to deliver some really important work. So we've set up the Southend Edinburgh Free Foundation with 3 clear goals and objectives. The first is to make defibrillators more accessible. So we raise funds for defibrillators in places that perhaps can't afford them, would like one.
Yeah,
so
amazing.
We actually delivered a defibrillator to Southend United Football Club. That was one of the first defibs that we donated because we felt it's a very special and close place to Dad's heart. It was the first football club that gave him his opportunity, and we get defibs out into places that really, really need them.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's one area. Then the second area is delivering CPR and defibrillator training, because I think, it's all well and good having the equipment. It's like having a bike. If you don't know how to use it, how to operate it, then it's not very useful. But they are very, and I must address this, they are very simple and easy pieces of equipment to use, and people shouldn't be fearful of using them. But if people would like CPR training, defibrillator training, I'd encourage them to get in contact with the charity. We run workshops on a daily basis to give people the skills and the confidence to know what to do in the case of a cardiac arrest. Our long-term objective is to campaign to change the law. We're campaigning for Justin's Law, which will see all UK health and sports facilities equipped with a defibrillator, because Dad was training in a gym local to us in Chelmsford at the time when he suffered his cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a defibrillator on site. The nearest 7 minutes away in a local shopping centre. And we know that in the case of a cardiac arrest, time is, you need to get that defib onto somebody as soon as possible to give them the best possible chance. So that's the three areas that we're honing in on, and we've made some really fantastic progress in the 6 years now that we've been operating. Obviously, we had a pandemic to deal with in the midst of all of that, but we're really proud. We've managed to save 3 people's lives. One of those was only last week, and that was myself personally, and a guy that had been on one of our courses. We were able to intervene on a golf course.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Amazing.
Yeah, we was able to intervene literally only on the 4th green, so very early on into our round in a 4-ball, and John, a dear friend of ours, went into cardiac arrest, and we was on him within sort of the first 15
Amazing.
seconds, starting CPR, and we had a defib on him in three minutes. And Johnny's here. He's with us. He's currently in hospital. He's in St George's in Tooting, making steady recovery.
Fantastic.
He's due to have an operation to fit an internal defib in the coming days. But look, it's amazing. We said when we started, if we could save one person's life, we know that has on family and friends. So we're really, really proud, and long may the good work continue.
Yeah, that is absolutely incredible. I read that, I think it was last week. And I was like, wow, you've really put into practice, the skills that you've learned. And like you say, it's not just about having defibs out there everywhere, but knowing and learning basic CPR is so important. Seconds actually change lives. So yeah, incredible story. Great story. So you've obviously done loads of charity work. You've even had me jumping off a building, which is crazy. I think I'll do something a bit easier next time.
You're a braver man than me, that's
So we met again, like I say, we first met when your dad came in, not under the best circumstances. But we met again for the first time since your dad passed away at a charity game to coincide with John White's testimony at Roots Hall a couple of years ago. I was actually chatting to Riley about this the other day. Brilliant event between Southend and Orient Legends. You mentioned a few of the players you still speak to. Do you still follow the fortunes of Leyton Orient?
I do indeed. I'll be honest, Phil. I follow every team that Dad's represented for. Obviously, people go, who do you support? Tottenham is my team. But, I take a keen interest in all of Dad's clubs, even going back to the likes of Billericay and Rushden. They've now reformed. Fraser, Fletcher,
Portsmouth.
I always keep tabs on everything
Brilliant.
he's doing, because every club that he played for or managed had a real good feel and connection with. And I still keep in contact with a lot of people from those respective clubs. But the Essex Charity Cup game that Riley Doe put on,
it's brilliant.
What an amazing young man he is. Credit to the football club, and he really did do a fantastic job, and it was great to see so many people come together for such a great cause. And obviously to John, allow that to happen the same day that of his testimonial. You know, John White, what a guy.
Yeah, great guy.
Very supportive, and wish him the best at Chelsea City this year. I think they've got a really good chance in the Conference South. But really was a fantastic occasion, and running a charity, there is a lot of obviously stuff that comes with it. That's a lot of serious stuff but those days and those fundraising events that occur when people come together to support your cause really does make you proud. And there was such a great turnout on that.
Yeah.
We had the weather. There was loads going on.
Oh, it was a perfect day. Yeah, great day.
So it was really, really good to see.
Yeah. So I must admit, since our connection, I've had a small soft spot for Leyton Orient. I was gutted when they missed out on the playoff promotion this year. Of course, it could have been Orient and Southend promoted in the playoffs. But listen, your dad would have been smiling because obviously Spurs won. I don't know how they did it, but they won the Europa League. I went to the parade, which was amazing. I remember sending you some footage of the parade. And certainly he would have been in the middle of the partying for that one. I'm sure he's up there now, still celebrating it.
Definitely. Life and soul of every party. I think that's what anyone would say about Dad. Was always the one to be in the midst of all of the celebrations. Fantastic. I was relieved more than anything as a Spurs fan to see us win that trophy, because believe it or not, Dad's the most decorated Spurs player.
He is.
In his late 80s.
That's right, yeah.
And you think of the calibre of players that have been through that football club in that time. It's a proud thing, but it's also crazy when you strip back and you say Justin Edinburgh is the most decorated Spurs player since that time.
Incredible.
Look, hopefully now with all the Dad's clubs, I'm gutted to Southend, gutted. I've got a really good relationship with Kevin Mayer. I've speak with Kev quite a bit, and actually had a few conversations about getting Macaulay Bond to the club, and that transpired. And it was good to see Macca, at the club last year, and I'm sure this year, already seen good new additions to the side that they'll be right in amongst it come the end of the season. But it was a shame. Orient missed out, Southend missed out, but I'm sure under Ricky and Kevin that both clubs will have a rebuild and go again this year.
It'll be our year, both clubs, hopefully. Let's keep fingers crossed. Well, in addition to learning and teaching, obviously, basic CPR skills, you've done incredible things with the foundation, raising a lot of money, which, as you say, would have saved lives and have saved lives. Your story is really inspiring, and the work you do with foundation is incredible. I know your dad would be incredibly proud. Charlie, just keep me posted on any charity events, and we'll certainly push it through the podcast. And listen, we'll push Justin's Law. We'll put the petition out. If people are listening can sign that, it's such an important thing. That the work that's going on there is so important. So please, guys, sign the petition, and that'd be great. Charlie, thank you so much for your time. Keep up the incredible work, and let's keep pushing Justin's Law.
Yeah, indeed. Really appreciate having me on. Good luck with the pod, and I'm sure it will go on to amazing things. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on and speak. And anything you need in the future, just give me a shout.
Cheers, Charlie. Take care.
No worries, Phil. Take care.
Yeah, that was Charlie Edinburgh. Great guy doing incredible charity work. We had a bit of breakages with the sound. So, if you didn't hear that, Justin's Law refers to the Justin Edinburgh Free Foundation's campaign in the UK to legally mandate automated external defibrillators in all health and sports facilities. I know he's gone into a lot of schools and football clubs and all sorts of places, teaching CPR and pioneering for this. So we'll put the petition on. If you can please sign that, it won't cost you anything, but it will do. What it will do is a lot of good for a lot of people. And as we said, it's already saved 3 lives. So brilliant, Charlie. Continue the amazing work. We'll continue supporting that. So please, guys, if you will do that, just sign on. Brilliant stuff. Don't forget 2 tickets to give away for your football memory, the best football memory. We want to hear your stories. So do bring those and send those to us. Let us know about it. What's left to say? Just thank you to the co-hosts. They've all cleared off now. To our sponsor, Surgical Holdings. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Up the Shrimpers and do widzenia.